And this situation with so-called aliens is also about your boundaries. We teach people how to treat us, and these are people. They want to respect you. They want to see how your life path can be impacted by your understanding of what they're offering.
There's so much comfort in the way we're having this conversation too, because it's not a chance to get afraid of what's to come. You're just very reasonably sharing, things have changed all the time, and this is part of a beautiful future. So maybe take time to consider what could be exciting about it instead of buying into the fear mongers who, think we're going to be turned into ketchup.
Well, and it's just funny, and I don't feel sorry for the guy. It actually pissed me off. But I had this conversation with a gal in grocery lines. I like it's like women can solve the world's problems in grocery lines. I was talking and I was chatting away with a checker who I knew, and we're doing girl talk. Oh my God, I love that nail color. Oh, that's cool. Where'd you get those shoes? All this stuff that makes my husband want to vomit into the cart. But we were chatting away. He wasn't there. And the lady behind me, she said, "What is that necklace? Can I ask you?" And I said, "Oh, that's this, or this." And she said, "My son had a dream about something like that." I said, "Really?" "Yeah, but I think it's awfully weird." And she went to talk about it, and I said, "It's a perfectly normal thing to have abnormal experience like that." And I realized that we were helping each other. She was giving me an opportunity to serve. And I said, "Encourage him." She said, "Well, it scares me because I don't have those abilities." I said, "He's got a gift. What should I do?" I said, "You don't have to do anything. Just listen and be there and be loving. That's all you have to do." And if y'all are mothers or fathers and you have kids, they will have different experiences than you did. And I think, especially these days with all this available, they're going to grow up in an amazing world. Sometimes all you have to do is just to listen. Say, "Well, that's cool. That's a normal experience, even though it seemed abnormal."
That's wonderful advice, especially for parents, because listening to our kids is sometimes hard, especially if they're living in a different world than we lived, and we might be a little bit afraid or anxious for what they're going to choose or experience. But listen and be open to what they have to say, and it's a lot less scary than you might think.
Absolutely. Listen and be open to what they have to say. And that said, you are, of course, aware if your kid really needs some sort of help psychologically, medically, psychiatrically, you need to pay close attention to that also and not let that go because we don't want to believe it. That occasionally happens. When I was, oh no, how old? I was this autistic kid. I was so weird. How old was I? How old are you in third grade? So I was about 9, which is when these big changes happen. I started having a lot of psychic experiences. Kids hated me, teachers hated me. I was so weird in the playground. A kid would go, "Well, this or that," and I'd look at him and I go, "Well, that's because the being standing behind you said this." Who wants that? Especially in Alabama in the 50s. So they started sending me to a psychiatrist. I was 9. I got a lot of good help. So Spirit had it that I would be so weird and have to learn so much compassion about just shut up that God, they sent me to a psychiatrist and nobody identified me as autistic. Nobody knew. From the time I was 9 until I was in my 20s, I still have a good counselor because I like to talk and find things out. But at some point, we have to take that and turn it into a lifestyle. I had to take what I know about me and turn it into a way to express, that's fifth chakra, to express, and that's Gemini also, express it in the outer world to where I can hopefully make a difference. And my big message is most of this stuff really is kind of normal. And we're afraid it only happens to us. And there are times that you will have just amazing short conversations with so called strangers. And you walk away going, wow, I gave, they gave, we felt. It's very interesting. And I think if we pay attention to the feelings of that, the same way if we pay attention to the feelings of looking in the night sky, and you will see these ships who are twinkling and smiling at us and saying, please let us help. Let us help you make this world a miraculous place full of love, and to evolve yourself into a place of not living in trepidation and fear because of your dogmas. Let us help you. That's why they are light. We see them as sparkles. You see these ships or these beings, and they are light. Light is the manifestation of what? Love.